Have you ever woken up from a dream, heart racing, mind spinning, after seeing the same person again and again? No matter how much you try to move on, they keep finding their way into your sleep, into your thoughts, into your heart. Is it a sign, a message from Allah, or a mirror showing what your soul is still clinging to? Tonight, we're stepping beyond just dreams and into the hidden messages your heart might be ignoring. Because sometimes, when Allah wants to guide you, He whispers through the places you least expect, even your dreams. Stay till the end, because what you're about to discover could change the way you see your dreams and your destiny. Sign 1. Your heart is still attached. Sometimes we think a dream is just a random image, but in truth, it can reflect something much deeper, your heart's condition. When you keep dreaming about someone, it could mean your heart is still holding on. You may have stopped talking to them. You may have deleted their number, blocked them, or even made dua to forget them. But inside, a part of you is still connected. You might not say their name anymore, but their memory is alive inside you. That's what the dream reflects. It's not just about the person, it's about the feeling you haven't healed from. Your soul doesn't lie. It remembers what your mind tries to forget. It brings out what you try to push down. And that's why you keep seeing this person in your dreams, because your heart still hasn't let go. Islam teaches us that healing comes through remembrance of Allah. When you remember Him often, when your heart is busy with His words, His love, and His mercy, those attachments begin to lose their grip. That pain starts to fade. That longing starts to shift. Why? Because your heart finds something stronger to hold on to, Allah. But if you still feel stuck, ask yourself honestly, have I truly given this to Allah? Or am I still trying to carry it alone? Letting go doesn't mean forgetting someone ever existed. It means accepting that whatever was written has already passed, and whatever is meant for you will never miss you. Allah sees what you carry, and He can free your heart, but you have to give it to Him first. Sign 2. It's a test of your patience. Dreams can feel so real, so intense, that they make you question everything. You see someone in your sleep, maybe someone you miss deeply, and you wake up wondering if it's a sign to reach out. But sometimes, that dream is not calling you toward the person, it's calling you toward patience. Allah may show you someone in a dream not to reopen a door, but to test if you're strong enough to keep it closed, to see if you can hold back your emotions, to see if you'll stay firm in your decision, even when your heart aches. It's easy to act on feelings. It's harder to act on faith. This kind of dream becomes a quiet test. Can you resist the urge to call them? Can you stop yourself from overthinking? Can you leave it in Allah's hands, even if you want answers right now? That's real patience, not just waiting for something to happen, but trusting that Allah knows what's best, even if you don't understand it yet. It's keeping calm when your heart is screaming. It's holding your tears and saying, Ya Allah, I leave this matter to you. True sabr isn't passive, it's powerful. It means you're strong enough to stay still when every part of you wants to move. And sometimes that's exactly what Allah wants to see. Not your reaction to the dream, but your surrender to His wisdom. Sign 3. A spiritual message is being delivered. In today's world, we often treat dreams like random stories our brain tells while we sleep. But Islam teaches something much deeper. Some dreams carry spiritual weight. They are not just thoughts, they are messages. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, clearly told us, "A good dream is from Allah, and a bad dream is from Shaitan. So when you keep dreaming about the same person over and over, it's not something to ignore. It's not just coincidence. It's a moment to pause and truly ask, why this person? Why now? What's going on inside of me that's showing up in my sleep? A dream from Allah doesn't come to confuse you. It comes to calm you, to clarify, to guide. It may remind you to turn back to your prayer. It may show you a flaw you need to fix. It may gently pull you away from a path you were about to walk that wasn't good for your soul. This is Rahmah, mercy from Allah. He reaches into your unconscious mind and sends you signs because He knows your heart better than you do. But Shaitan also knows how to twist a dream. If the dream fills you with desire, temptation, or makes you chase emotions more than truth, be careful. If it makes you restless, distracts you from your purpose, or takes over your thoughts in unhealthy ways, that's not from Allah. Shaitan uses even beautiful faces and soft feelings to steer your soul off course, not because he cares about the person in your dream, but because he wants your heart to focus on anyone but Allah. So when that person keeps appearing in your dreams, ask yourself, what feeling does this dream leave behind? Is it making me a better Muslim, or is it making me distant from my Creator? Is there something I've ignored, emotionally or spiritually, that I need to face? Because the truth is, that dream might not be about the person at all. It might be about you, about a wound you haven't healed, a test you haven't passed, a lesson you haven't learned. Allah doesn't always speak through loud signs. Sometimes He speaks in silence, in dreams, in repetition. So if you keep seeing the same thing again and again, don't rush to act on it. Sit with it, reflect, pray, and ask Allah for clarity. Because those who truly listen to what Allah is trying to show them are the ones who grow through what they're going through. Sign 4. You're suppressing unspoken emotions. Dreams have a way of reaching into the parts of us we try to ignore. When someone keeps appearing in your dreams, especially after they're no longer part of your life, it doesn't always mean you're meant to be with them. Sometimes it's not about that person at all. It's about the emotions you buried and never gave yourself permission to feel. You might have walked away from the relationship trying to protect your dignity. You might have chosen silence over conflict, thinking that would make you stronger. You might have told yourself you've moved on, blocked their number, deleted their photos, made dua to forget. But if something is still unhealed inside, it will find a way to speak. And often, it speaks through dreams. Maybe you never said what was in your heart because you were scared. Maybe you felt misunderstood but didn't know how to explain yourself. Maybe you wanted closure but never got it. Maybe you were waiting for them to come back, to apologize, or to say what you needed to hear, and they never did. And so those unspoken emotions, sadness, guilt, regret, hope, they sit deep in your heart, untouched. You move through your days pretending you're okay, but then at night, when the world is quiet and your defenses are down, your soul whispers what your mouth refused to say. That's when the dreams come, not to torture you, not to confuse you, but to show you what still needs healing. In Islam, emotions are not shameful. Feeling pain, longing, confusion, these are human experiences. The mistake is not in feeling. The mistake is in thinking you have to carry it alone. Allah is As-Sami, the all-hearing. He doesn't just hear your voice when you speak out loud. He hears the cries of your heart, the words you rehearse but never say, the emotions you hide from everyone, even yourself. So if your heart feels heavy, and you can't figure out why. If someone keeps appearing in your dreams and it stirs something inside you, maybe it's not about getting them back. Maybe it's about giving those emotions a safe place to land. And there's no safer place than with Allah. Talk to Him. You don't need fancy words. Just be real. Say, Ya Allah, I couldn't say it to them, but I can say it to you. You know what's in my heart. Heal what I don't understand. Take this weight from me. Let me feel peace again. Because the moment you turn your unspoken emotions into heartfelt dua, they begin to lose their power over you. You may not get closure from the person. You may never hear the words you were waiting for, but Allah can give you something better. Closure from within. Peace that doesn't depend on someone else's actions. Healing that doesn't come from a conversation, but from connection with the one who created your heart. Let the tears fall if they need to. Let yourself feel. But don't stop there. Speak to Allah. Let Him hold what you've been holding in. Because when you give your silent pain to Him, He doesn't just listen. He responds with healing. Sign 5. It's a sign to purify your intentions. When someone keeps showing up in your dreams again and again, it can feel powerful, like a sign that they belong in your life. You might start thinking, maybe this is Allah's way of telling me they're meant for me. But before you assume it's a sign to pursue them, pause and reflect on something deeper. Why do I keep dreaming about this person? Is it a true connection? Or is it my heart attaching to something that was never meant to stay? Islam teaches us that the heart is powerful, but also vulnerable. And sometimes what feels like love is actually emotional dependence. What feels spiritual might actually be personal desire in disguise. We may think we're holding on because we care, but in truth, we might be holding on because we're afraid to let go. That's why Allah, in His mercy, might send us a dream, not to confirm what we want, but to question why we want it. Not every dream is a green light. Some dreams are warnings in the softest form. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "Actions are judged by intentions." This means the value of what you do isn't just about the action itself. It's about the why behind it. So ask yourself with complete honesty, is my love for this person helping me become closer to Allah? Or has it become a distraction? Has it made me grow? Or has it made me obsessed? Have I turned this person into my source of peace, instead of turning to the one who gives peace? Sometimes we disguise our emotions with beautiful words. We say, "I just want what's written for me." But in reality, we want what we want, even if it isn't good for us. We say, "This love feels pure," but we don't realize it's driven by loneliness, by pain, or by a need for closure. And Allah knows all of this. He knows when your love is sincere, and He knows when your love is rooted in weakness. So when He sends you the same dream over and over, it might not be about the person at all. It might be about your intention. The dream could be whispering, "Check your heart. Look at where you're placing your hope." Ask yourself who you're really chasing. Because the moment love starts pulling you away from Allah, it stops being love and it starts being a test. True love, in the Islamic sense, is not just emotional, it's transformational. It brings you closer to Allah. It pushes you to purify your soul. It makes you more sincere, more patient, more humble. If your connection to this person is making your faith stronger, then maybe that love has barakah. But if thinking about them makes you anxious, if it takes over your prayers, if it leads you away from your spiritual responsibilities, then it's time to purify that attachment. Allah is Al-Latif, the most subtle. He sends us quiet signs when our hearts begin to drift, and sometimes those signs come in the form of dreams. So don't just chase the person from your dream, chase the meaning of the dream. Ask yourself, what is this dream doing to my soul? What is this feeling doing to my connection with Allah? If it's drawing you back to Him, hold on to that feeling and let it refine you. But if it's pulling you away, that's your sign to let go before it takes more than it gives. Redirect your love, clean your intention, and trust that when you put Allah first, He will guide your heart to what is best, even if it's not what you imagined. Because when your heart is in the right place, everything else falls into place too, not by force, not through dreams, but by His will and His timing. Sign 6. A reflection of what you feed your mind. Let's take a moment and be completely honest with ourselves. Not every dream is a divine sign. Not every vision you see while asleep is meant to be interpreted spiritually. Sometimes your dream is simply the natural outcome of what you've been feeding your mind every single day. When you constantly think about someone, when you keep their memory alive through your thoughts, when you scroll through their pictures, check their social media, replay old conversations in your head, and imagine scenarios that never even happened, you're not just remembering them. You're programming your mind to make them the center of your inner world. And the mind is powerful. It listens to what you repeat. It absorbs what you focus on. And when you sleep, it continues processing everything you've given attention to. That's why someone who's been on your mind all day ends up in your dreams at night. This isn't always about a spiritual message. Sometimes it's about a mental habit, a pattern of emotional attention that you've unconsciously built. Islam teaches us something beautiful and powerful. Our hearts are shaped by what our senses consume, what we look at, what we listen to, what we think about. All of it gets recorded in the heart. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, warned us that what enters through the eyes and ears can either purify the heart or poison it. So if your day is filled with memories of someone, if your focus is constantly pulled back to them, then your dreams are just following the same script your mind has been writing all day. Let's not lie to ourselves and call it a sign from Allah, when in reality it's the result of an unguarded heart. That's why it's so important to look at what we're allowing into our thoughts. What we give our attention to is what grows. And if we keep watering the seed of emotional attachment, how can we expect it not to bloom into dreams? If you want to stop seeing this person in your sleep, you have to stop inviting their memory into your day. Stop visiting their profile. Stop replaying conversations that are already over. Stop imagining closure that may never come. The more space they take in your mind, the more they'll echo in your soul. But there's a beautiful solution, a quiet, powerful shift you can make. And it starts with what you choose to feed your heart. Fill your eyes with the Quran. Fill your ears with dhikr. Fill your thoughts with hope in Allah, not nostalgia for people. Fill your time with what heals you, not what haunts you. Because when your heart is full of Allah's remembrance, everything else starts to fade. Not suddenly, but gently. The obsession quiets down. The longing finds peace. And the dreams stop showing you what you no longer need. Sometimes the dream isn't a test from Allah. It's a sign from within. A quiet nudge that says, it's time to take back control of what you're feeding your soul. You have the power to shift your focus, and when you do, you'll find that your heart feels lighter, your nights more peaceful, and your dreams more clear, not because the person is gone, but because your heart has finally made room for what truly matters. Allah. Sign 7. A wake-up call from Allah. Sometimes we hold on so tightly to a person, so tightly to an idea, a hope, a memory, that we begin to see it everywhere, even in our sleep. They appear in our dreams again and again, and we start asking ourselves, is this a sign? Are they meant for me? Should I go back? Should I wait? But often we focus so much on who we're seeing that we miss what the dream is really trying to show us. Because sometimes the dream isn't about the person, it's about you. It's about what's still sitting in your heart, what you haven't healed, what you're still chasing, and what you still refuse to surrender. You might have made dua for clarity. You might have asked Allah to give you a sign. And now this dream keeps showing up, but instead of peace, it brings confusion. Instead of direction, it brings questions. Why? Because the dream is not a promise. It's a wake-up call. A gentle, quiet nudge from the one who created your heart. Maybe Allah is telling you that the person you keep seeing in your dreams is not where your healing lies, that they were never meant to fill your soul, that you're searching for closure in the wrong place, and that the only place you'll truly find peace is with Him. Sometimes we think that if someone shows up in our dreams, they must still be part of our story, but maybe they're just a part of our growth. Maybe Allah is showing you how deeply your heart is still attached, so you finally realize it's time to let go. Not because they were never important, but because they served their purpose. And here's the truth many people avoid. You can love someone, you can pray for someone, but they can still be wrong for your soul. And Allah, in His wisdom and mercy, will keep pulling you back to Him, because He knows you better than you know yourself. He knows the kind of love that will bring you closer to Him, and the kind that will pull you further away. So when you keep seeing them in your dreams over and over again, maybe Allah is asking, why do you still want them more than me? Why are you still holding on when I've been trying to set you free? Why do you think they will heal you when I'm the one who created healing? We often think holding on shows strength, but in Islam, sometimes letting go is the greatest act of faith. It's saying, Ya Allah, I don't understand this pain. I don't know why they're gone, but I trust you more than I trust my feelings. And if that person is written for you, then know this: nothing will block what Allah has written. Not time, not distance, not even silence. If they are truly yours, Allah will bring them back at the right time, in the right way, when both hearts are ready. But if they are not meant for you, no amount of dreaming, hoping, or waiting will make it right. Letting go doesn't mean you failed. It means you're making space for something greater, for something Allah knows you need, even if you don't see it yet. So the next time they show up in your dream, don't rush to decode it. Don't chase it. Pause, reflect, ask yourself, what is Allah trying to teach me through this? Is this a message for me to hold on or to return to Him? Because the dream isn't the destination, it's the signal, a moment to realign, to pull your heart back from the world and place it in the hands of the one who never left your side. And when you return to Allah with sincerity, when you let go of what He asked you to let go of, He will replace it with something better, with someone better, with peace, not just in your dreams, but in your reality, in your soul, in your heart that finally rests, because it rests with Him. Turn the dream into dua. Now that you've reflected on the signs, each one pointing you back to something deeper than just a dream, it's time to take a step that truly matters. Not another overthinking loop, not another night wondering what it all means, but a step that brings peace to your heart and direction to your soul. Because these dreams you're having, they're not meaningless. They're not just strange midnight thoughts. They're not simply echoes of the past or signs of something magical. They might be something greater, a signal from Allah, a divine interruption in the middle of your emotional confusion, a whisper that says, "Stop running in circles. Come back to me." The pain you feel when you wake up from that dream, that lingering ache, that heaviness in your chest that you can't explain. It's not just about the person you saw, it's about what your heart is still holding on to and who you're forgetting to turn to. Because sometimes we spend all our energy chasing people, trying to understand feelings, signs, symbols, but we forget that only Allah knows what we're not even able to say. He knows when your heart is breaking silently. He knows when you smile in front of others but cry in sujood. He knows when you're trying to move on, but you keep looking back. And that dream that keeps repeating, that face that keeps appearing, it could be Allah telling you, it's time to stop asking them for answers and start asking me. So don't just analyze the dream. Transform it. Don't let it become another emotional cycle. Let it become a moment of surrender. Take all of that confusion, every unanswered question, every longing, every fear, and turn it into dua, not just with words, but with heart, with tears if needed, with silence, if that's all you have left. Say, Ya Allah, if this person is good for my life and my afterlife, bring them to me in a way that is blessed, peaceful, and written by you. But if they are not, remove them from my heart without leaving wounds. Replace their space with something better, with your love, your closeness, and your peace. That's the kind of closure no conversation can give you. That's the kind of strength no human can offer. That's the kind of healing only your Creator can bring. You don't need to dream about someone to feel important. You don't need signs to prove that your love was real. And you don't need to chase something that's not chasing you back. You just need to return to Allah. Because when your heart rests in His hands, it no longer needs to cling to uncertainty. Let the dream be a reminder, not of who you miss, but of who you've forgotten to turn to. Your worth isn't determined by who dreams of you or who you see in your sleep. Your worth is written by the one who made you, and He never confuses your path. So stop looking for signs in someone else's face and start searching for peace in Allah's presence. Because when you choose Him over everything, you never lose what was meant for you. You only lose what was meant to leave. And in that loss, you gain something priceless: contentment, clarity, and closeness to the one who never breaks a heart without preparing it for something greater. Let the Ummah heal. Have you ever had a dream about someone that wouldn't stop? A face that keeps showing up night after night, as if your soul can't quite let them go? Maybe it gave you comfort, or maybe it left you feeling more lost than before. Maybe you woke up with tears in your eyes, unsure whether the dream was a gift or a test. If that's you, you're not alone. Across the Ummah, millions of hearts are carrying stories they've never shared. Silent heartbreaks that still echo, longings that have no words, people they pray for but can't speak about out loud, dreams they remember but can't explain. And sometimes the most painful parts of our journey are the ones we keep hidden, not because we don't feel them, but because we think no one else will understand. But the truth is, someone does understand. Someone else has seen that same face in their dreams, felt that same weight in their chest. made those same late-night du'as, whispering into the darkness, hoping for peace. So let this be your reminder. Healing doesn't happen in silence. It happens in community. When we share our stories, we soften the loneliness. When we open our hearts, we allow others to say, "Me too." That's how healing begins. Not when the pain ends, but when we realize we're not walking through it alone. If this message resonated with you, if the words you just read stirred something deep inside, share your story in the comments. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to have a happy ending. Just be honest. Tell us what your dream meant to you. Tell us how it affected your heart, your faith, your journey. Because you never know, your words might be the exact words someone else is waiting to hear. Someone who feels like they're drowning in silence. Someone who thinks no one else could possibly relate. And suddenly, they read your comment and feel seen. And if even one line of this message touched your soul, if it made you pause, made you reflect, or made you cry, don't let it stay with just you. Share it. Send it to someone who's struggling, someone who's been having those same dreams, someone who needs to know that their emotions aren't wrong and their tears aren't wasted, that Allah sees every heartbeat, every memory, every quiet ache, and He honors it all. Let this video, this message, this community be a space where the Ummah heals, where we stop hiding, where we stop pretending we're fine when we're breaking inside, where we remind each other that pain isn't weakness. It's part of the path back to Allah. Because healing doesn't begin when everything is fixed. It begins the moment we say, "Ya Allah, I'm hurting, but I trust you." And Allah, Al-Jabbar, the one who mends what is broken, He never lets that trust go unanswered. So let the Ummah heal, one story at a time, one heart at a time, starting with yours, and Allah knows best.